Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
And it's a sunny day in Texas. It's not 100 degrees yet, but we're getting there quickly.
Lovely.
And Scott, you have rain?
Just cloudy.
Just cloudy and 82. And I told him I would gladly send him all the sunshine he wants if he would send me the 82 degrees. But he's being mean. He's not going to do it.
I don't have that much power. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And have you seen any of the stories? I forgot to mention this before the show started. Have you seen any of the things from the world weather people about how this El Nino is going to be this winter is going to be the equivalent of the winter in 1877, which led to the Great Famine in 1878 because it so screwed up the planting patterns?
Eesh.
We could read on that.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, that's the potato famine that got my grandma over to Canada.
How do I? Okay, this is weird.
What?
I was trying to StreamYard change. I was gonna make a banner for that to read, but it's not coming up. Create banner. Weird. Anywho, because I had like your banner in there, for your
okay.
Buy me a coffee, but okay, there it goes. It's a weird setting.
What are you doing to us? I don't see anything.
I wanted to create a banner for the El Nino.
Oh, okay. I can create a comment.
I got it.
Okay. People who don't see the screens we're seeing going, what the hell are they talking about?
And you said it was 1877?
1877, the El Nino that came across and it swept over the world. Okay. And it's going to change all the patterns, and it changes the rain, and we've already seen the beginnings of it in the fires and stuff in Europe. So I'm going to use cards people are familiar with the look of. I'm not going to put that on my bunny cards.
Let's see. Congress. Okay, I got that question. Any artist? Okay. Okay, that banner.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Yes.
All right.
And I don't know if it's El Nino or El Nina, but it's whatever one's coming towards us. Who cares?
One of those things. This deck. Okay.
And it took it down because it's got on that stupid timer thing.
Oh, dang it. I gotta get rid of the timer.
Yeah, I turned mine off permanently. It's probably not worth the day of your life it took to do it, but.
Oh, there we go. Got it off. Okay. So they're thinking like next year is going to be rough.
Yeah, and what I got is I got the two queens, the queen of adversity or truth, the queen of swords, and the queen of cups, the queen of abundance. She sort of can fill in for the empress. And it says, we need to be prepared to walk away from this, because even though we do have better supply lines for food and stuff, but there's a lot of other situations going on around us that help that. People don't want to listen to the message because they've had so many dire predictions thrown on them, trope backwards. And what's going to happen is it's going to create people having to do a lot of coming together and thinking about things. Plus the fact we put a war in Ukraine right in the middle of the biggest breadbasket for the other half of the world. So.
I'm not getting with these cards any huge effect.
I hope not, because what they're predicting is really dire.
Yeah. Like oddly enough, thank you, Jeff, for the donation.
Yes.
Like in southern Wisconsin, you can almost guarantee it about every 25 years there's a drought.
Mm-hmm.
The last drought here was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, it was 1987. Before that, it was 1952. It's like every 25 years is a very bad drought. So that wouldn't be affecting us if we go on that that aspect. My ending cards are celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
But then I get 5 of Pentacles. So that could be some losses of crops or money.
Yeah.
But then I get 9 of Pentacles. That's the peace of mind. And then I get 8 of Pentacles with the hard work.
Well, maybe they'll be able to figure a way around it, because in 1877, it killed 50 million people. 1 year.
Right. I would see, worse cards like a Tower or 10 of Swords or something if it was going to be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of suggests that there may be places. I mean, we're already seeing that some places are struggling with fires, severe drought, but
yeah, go talk to the people in the Northwest.
So some places it will be, but the 8 of Pentacles is kind of saying we might, start reversing things. We're doing the hard work. Maybe we do get back to doing some solar and wind before next summer or something.
We get more power, electric power in Texas from the wind than from any other source.
I mean,
they don't like it, but it's cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few wind farms and solar farms in Wisconsin, but they've slowed.
Building them slowed some. Yeah.
So moving into next year, I get improvements.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8 of Wands could be a little bit windy. And then I get Justice. Meaning things kind of balance out. So according to my cards, it's not going to be bad.
Good.
So let's hope.
Hey, Leo likes Scott's cards.
Okay. Oh, you wanted to make sure we talk about that quick?
Yes. Yes, check your voting status. However you can check it in your state. I presume it's friendlier in other states than Texas because we're the hardest state to vote in. But you can actually, in Texas, go into your whatever authority. In our case, it's on the county level. And you can take a picture, and it will, by taking that picture on your phone, that documents that as of that day, you were in good standing. And I would do it up to the day that y'all don't ever have a time when it closes, but in Texas, you have to be on the register and everything perfectly fine 30 days before. And we've had local Superior Court judges around us protect the way the laws have always been written instead of some of the ways they were trying to change them just by mandate. They're not going to work. So, but in each of your states, if you don't know anything else about it, go to Ballotpedia, and it's ballot and then pedia, like encyclopedia on the end, and they will tell you all the ways you can check and document your voting status. And thing is, if you have it documented, I had a friend who did that deal with her on her phone. They just handed her the ballot because they realized we already knew that names had been purged off for no reasons. Check your stats. We'll remind you every Sunday.
Intense primary.
I voted early last Saturday. You must have primaries.
Can intense praying reverse an El Nino?
Yes, in theory. So let's put the theory to practice. Include it in your blessings that of things you want to see handled. Hand it over to you, because, girl, I'm not going to be able to go out and find a fan and blow the El Nino somewhere else. So if they don't do it, we're stuck. But as I told Scott, that whole thing that started in 1877, that's what got my grandma to Canada. So got her out of Ireland.
Vivian says, in Boston, the El Nino effect will be warmer
This winter.
a warmer winter.
Of course, all we need is we're having bad tremors in Indonesia, not bad, like almost 7.7, 7.8 earthquakes on the outer isles. But that's where that one that blew up that darkened the sky for one whole year. That's so God only knows what's happening there. Aren't we just such a fun place to watch on Sunday morning, Scott?
Well, we try to be positive.
No, it's going to open as soon as the Democrats can get in there.
Okay.
First things.
We'll stay closed until Trump's out of office.
No. But I'll wait there.
Let's see what the cards say here, because oops, dang it. I didn't want that. I was trying to star. Okay. Let's see. Will the Strait of Hormuz stay closed until show me. There's no spiritual answer here. There's too many players. The universe doesn't know exactly.
No. Nothing's going to happen till there's an emotional change, till there's a change of hearts. But we're moving to a different place. And right now it's very painful, and it's about to get a lot more painful, because isn't it in the next 30 days we run out of the oil reserves?
At the current rate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the tower already happened with resources, and the world economy happened. That's in the past. And then I get the moon coming in with the change.
Mm-hmm.
So that's unknown. And then I think you're basically right when we get a change of government.
Mm-hmm.
The Hierophant people are actually honorable and loyal. That'll bring balance back to our government. So yeah, as long as Frumpy's around, it doesn't seem to be happening.
Nope.
So that moon coming in, even the universe doesn't know that answer.
Nope. Oh, how was the eclipse for you?
I had no issues.
Good.
So
I had friends whose things got resolved. I kept telling them, wait till eclipse, wait till eclipse. And two of them, actually, the day of the eclipse, their things got resolved.
Yep. Here in Wisconsin, you can register day of too.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're off the rolls, if you bring in it might take a little longer, obviously. But if you bring in your form of ID, you can get it figured out. Yeah, the oil situation is difficult, but when we're pulling down our reserves, that's the issue. And when it gets too low and we're not replenishing it. But there has been other markets that kind of stepped up to keep it kind of
level.
propped up for right now.
And also the oil companies didn't decide to make their bazillion dollars of profit.
So I mean, we are lucky in a sense that it has stabilized enough, but drawing down the reserves is not good. When you're out, then we're in big trouble, and that's coming soon.
To a gas station near you.
Let's see. The dollar market.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is not in a good matrix. Honestly, I'm shocked. The United States economy is still flowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the bond market is at its highest level, meaning we're paying more for funds. July, we had a record of $432 billion in the negative.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see how this can be stabilized.
It cannot be sustained at this level.
The bond interest is higher than 2008. And that's scary.
Mm-hmm. And we don't have two almost sane people going into running for office that might want to do something about it, like McCain and Obama did.
Okay.
I'm going to say in the short frame, will it lose its standing in the world coast?
Okay.
No, because it's still better than everybody else has got going. We need to be ready for the fight. That's the Five of Swords. Ready for the fight. But I got no. I asked if it would fall in the near future. It said no. No, 10 of Pentacles upside down. No, nothing's going to happen to the money. Nothing in temperance going to happen, because to change the whole world economy to another currency that takes a lot of doing. And no, it's not going to be a depression of the moon. What I see is that the other countries weren't ready for it either. And so they don't have the stability to do it. So the dollar's still going to be the best they've got.
Yeah, generally it feels like the dollar is stable enough. What I'm getting here. We do have a little bit of deceit going on within our markets and what our government's doing.
A little bit.
Because it's propping up. Because what's actually happening on the ground is not what's happening in the stock market.
Right.
So the Three of Pentacles with the Three of Swords is kind of like feeling like within our government, they're manufacturing or printing money or whatever it is, right? And the borrowing going on is on a deceitful level. And it's not sustainable. So then I get people are suffering, and there's worry with Nine of Swords. A lot of conflicts and bad energy with the Five of Wands. Knight of Pentacles is staying the course. And then Queen of Cups, there'll be improvements. But this can't last forever.
No.
There's going to be change. But according to the final, there's going to be change. But there's going to be a lot of pain in the moving forward. I can't remember where it was. It's like mortgage companies don't know what to do because a lot of people aren't paying their mortgage.
Right.
Record credit card debt and a lot of homes for sale not getting swept up. Interest rates are too high. Losing, what is it? People that need SNAP is losing their benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be good.
No.
And that's what we mentioned that behind the scenes, but it's like, why does anyone ever vote Republican? Because it's chaotic every single time they're in power.
Mm-hmm.
But they still vote for them over racism. My one buddy on Facebook said it's going to be Sharia law with Mandami and El Sayed being elected. We can't let that happen.
Why not? Why should we let the bastards that want to put the 10 commandments on the walls of the classroom while they're breaking all 9 of them? Where are we going next?
Let's see. Our retail restaurants use send out strongly worded letters to gas and grocery. All right.
No.
I don't really think so. I think to me it feels like every CEO or every company's, in for their own.
Mm-hmm. Or you've had years coming up to this when things were, because of course it all got blamed on COVID, but and that did have a huge difference in how things happened. But think of all the restaurant CEOs that have been replaced in the last 10 years, like the person that took over the place. It's a southern place.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, she just got canned. She didn't even get that good of a golden umbrella when she left. But I'm going to change the type. I'm going to on people who are the least likely to move or change how they see things. And it's pretty pandemic. I mean, it's pretty endemic. If you've seen some of the videos about how restaurants changed their how they were going to serve food, the quality of food they were going to serve, what they were going to do, and when you consider how much of the food is engineered and it's making people sick. And when now that people have to go home and cook for themselves or eat a basic salad at home, and then they go out and they eat restaurant food and they get sick. And that's some of the engineering they're doing out there. It makes no sense.
Teresa asked about the trucking industry. It's going fine because we just raise our prices.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see it.
For it.
Yeah, you're going to see it in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when our company sells our meat or whatever,
mm-hmm.
or shipping costs for eggs or whatever it is per pallet, we just raise it up a little bit to cover our diesel costs. And everyone else does it that way too. We're not eating it, so the grocery stores have to have higher costs. Everywhere has higher costs. But trucking industry isn't going to lose money.
No, they can't. And then they won't be there.
They just charge a little more.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is. Okay. What's up with Trump's family? Are they in hiding? Every once in a while, they peek out on a social media post. Are the Trump family in hiding?
Probably him.
They don't feel like hiding. They're just decreasing their internet presence. Trying to stay out of the limelight of their corruption.
No, they're not hiding at all. I got 5 no's. No, they're not hiding. No, they're not hiding. No, they're not hiding. No, they're not hiding. And no, they're not hiding. And what it says is they're just talking to the buddies they need to talk to. And they're doing it to avoid justice. So they know the more their faces are out there, the more people think that realize who they really are.
Yep. I got the magicians, so they're doing what they need to do behind the scenes or being a little more sneaky about everything. The Wheel of Fortune, I think they'll get their karma at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Five of Wands next to that kind of feels like just staying away from the negative energy, just not posting as
Mm-hmm.
much nonsense, but doing their deals. Got the King Coins, Queen of Coins. They're making their money,
Mm-hmm.
planting that strength and trying to avoid scrutiny. So technically not hiding, just not creating that big a presence in the news. Cards go away. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see what is the reasoning why Trump is destroying America?
Okay.
Besides his own power,
Bizarre ego.
is he just demented and don't care? Let's see.
Well, we know it was a plan if you read their book.
The Project 2025.
Uh-huh. They set out to ruin everything.
Well, he doesn't read. He doesn't understand it.
No, he doesn't. I'm not saying he did it, but he thinks he's running everything and he's being manipulated by the people who wrote that book.
Yes. He doesn't know what those executive orders mean that he gets put
He
in front of.
can't. He didn't understand they don't work.
What's the reasoning? Tell me the reasoning why. Yeah, this feels multi-layered.
Mm-hmm. Okay. At the end of the day, it's all about money. It's all about people getting their money out. And it was a consortium. That's the Three of Pentacles. This is a group of people that got together. They're uneasy partners with each other, but they're the Five of Swords. They're so dissent. They have there's no loving truth in any of their messages. And ultimately, yeah, he wants to destroy America, the Five of Cups. He wants us to not get along at all. Can you see my little kitty cards?
Mm-hmm.
Five of Cups. Just he wants they get you to feel that way by getting you to dwell only on what's bad. You know, the Five of Cups. Oh, we didn't get this, we didn't get that, instead of looking at what's good and what's going on.
So in the past, I get Four of Swords. Kind of like the laying low, doing things slowly to hurt others. The Six of Wands feels like the victory they can immediately take with executive orders, but every decision has judgment upon them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they expected this. All the judgment. But like you said, it's all about money.
It's all about money.
They're making money through their messages, grifting the government, the Hierophant. There's a plan there by doing what they're doing.
Thank you, Sue's Whimsy.
To get more money for the wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Chariot, Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. Fast and hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the executive orders and whatnot. Just hit everything, hit the courts fast and hard, so they don't have time to do what's right. In the meantime, they're stealing money. They're making money.
Mm-hmm.
All these wealthy people. By this fast and furious type destruction. It's all based on lies and deceit with the Seven of Swords. to ruin our happy home, and then death of good government. To totally rework. Yeah, I think it has to do with Project 2025.
Mm-hmm.
To totally rework the power of the federal government. Instead of co-equals, be the head of a select few, kind of like the Kremlin. So it technically isn't him.
Mm-hmm.
He's clueless. It's the
He's
Russell.
just a tool. He's
It's
just
the
a
Russell.
tool in the box.
Yeah, it's like the Russell vote. He's the one behind the scenes, OMB, destroying America.
Mm-hmm.
And he got all these cabinet member tools going right along with it. And they're using threats. They're using those compromise on everybody so no one will stand up. So I think you're right. It was all written in Project 2025, and they're doing it fast and furious.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, everyone in the administration and billionaires are making a killing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a lot of work to get it back. How many Americans are actually aware it's going on in the ships out there? Not enough.
Not enough, and it's because we have such a diverse media, we don't have any reporting on it. But look how long it took America to catch on to the fact that Vietnam was a shell game for corporations. And it was there, and that's when we had a draft, and pretty much every economic level would get hit with people having to go, and that's what stops wars, is when people quit saying, oh, just go over and send over soldiers. And the condition of our military, all you have to do is sit. If you can sit through 2 minutes of Hegseth, you know what's wrong with the military. That guy's at the top.
Yeah, testosterone and Christianity is all he wants.
Who was the last one that they just fired? The head of this nuclear submarine, the head admiral of that got canned. And that ought to make you really worried. What he would not throw a nuclear bomb on.
Yeah, and there's no qualified people anymore. He purged them all.
Mm-hmm.
There's new reporting that firmware was compromised at the poles where they had threats and had to evacuate.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now what you do. Unless you live in a state that requires you to vote on the day of the election, vote early. Because they can't keep threatening to blow up polling places. That's what happened in key races. It happened here. It happened during the primaries in Texas. They had polling places that were closed for several hours looking for bombs. So don't vote the day of. And I know there's people. I remember there's some African Americans who said, my family, my ancestors worked so I could vote on election day. And that's all lovely. But now people know that's a problem. I mean, that's a way they can stop you from voting. I always vote early.
So do I. You have 10 days prior or whatever.
Right.
10 voting days to get her done. I got some bad cards here, so it does look like something was infected or something like that. So I get the lazy justice and the 7 of cups. So it's kind of like laziness with the security within the firmware, within the software systems. So yeah, it looks like there was some kind of compromise because they were lazy with their protections. Okay. So there is something to that.
Yeah, I heard they didn't. Are you done?
Yeah.
They didn't want it to go ahead, so they put judgment on it. They made people afraid to go in. Where we are right now is we're in the hangman. They're deciding whether to do it again or not, and I think they're not as likely to try because they understand they're under scrutiny, or they are under scrutiny, where you live in a state that cares about whether you get to vote or not. But like I said, the best way to avoid that is to vote early. And they've so screwed up the absentee balloting now goes back to what it used to be. And it ends up in some race where a Democrat won when they did a recount on it this last week. It was really close. That it was the rules the Republicans had put in place themselves that knocked their candidate out. They didn't get the right signatures. So they made it so you have to have this county person's signature and this county. What? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How will Denmark and Greenland handle this Texas company wanting the drill?
Then we'll let them do it.
I don't think they'll let them do it.
They got, and nobody knows for sure. This is a rumor I've heard around Texas. Nobody knows for sure what was on those boats, nor did the port. Now, next time a boat comes up that's masted or came out of Texas, they're going to climb all over it to see if it's got any stuff that's going to carry this little wet dream forward. Yeah. This is just one of, you know what? While we're talking about that, while we're talking about this problem, what are we not talking about, Scott? The Epstein files.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it shows here they want, they got to have permits to travel there. The hermit waiting for confirmation, but there may be a conflict here with the Five of Swords because I guess that boat's supposed to be landing in September somewhere with all the equipment.
There's only like 3 places in Greenland you can land. So.
But my last 3 card show it's not going to happen.
No.
A Tower, Ten of Swords, disaster, and then 5 of Coins, lack of structure and happening. So yeah, they just can't take over a country and start drilling without proper channels and agreements, and Denmark and Greenland have not approved anything. So they're setting up for disaster here. Yeah, that was our reading from last week, seeing what was, what we need to know, and it felt all had to do with the Epstein files and Katie Fang. Another judge authorized the release of Ghislaine Maxwell's transcripts in her case. So that's going to be coming out. The judge is all ready to put sanctions and contempt on the DOJ lawyers in this. So that was what we were seeing, and that happened. So more stuff will be rolling with that suit. But yeah, we just said that. Judge Sullivan is not messing around.
Nope.
And they're going to get to the bottom of it. They don't do the Epstein Files Transparency Act properly. Okay, we're going to do this quick. Nancy agreed.
Okay.
We can look at this quickly. About a medical question.
Okay. I'm going to ask if they're going to find the answer. Because there's nothing like having a medical problem. Nobody can figure out what it is.
liver transplant 5 years ago. Now there's a bleed and doctors can't figure it out. Liver.
Okay. It's going to be a woman physician he's working with who's going to help him figure it out. Right now, yeah, they are hanging fire. They cannot figure it out. But there is another male doctor, blonde-haired guy, who will be able to help him deal with it. It's going to put a greater burden on his family, whatever it is, but he's not going to die. That's what I got. I really hate doing medical questions. But I think
yeah, I think they're going to figure it out in the end here. I get the death card, but it's not literal. It just means the ending of the situation here with the bead problem. I do have a different doctor coming in to look at things. This is burdensome, though, in 5 of Pentacles.
Oh, yeah.
Causing hardships. To me, it feels like a weakening.
Like something broke.
Like maybe part of the liver might be weakened. You know, like, let's say you constantly rub on something on your skin, right? Weakens that area, that kind of feeling. Because I really don't think it's like
I think it's like a hemorrhage.
Like a problem with the liver itself. It just feels like there's an area that's weakening that might have to go back in. But it feels like it's going to get figured out. You know, like maybe where the CAT scan was looking at, you can't see it properly or something like that. But yeah, I think they're going to figure it out. To me, it just feels like a weakening of an area. So blessings to him. Okay. Okay, already looked at that. Let's see, what does this mean? The billionaire cronies who want all power ruling the world.
Yeah, that's what you and I were talking about. That he's just selling out to all those guys, and that's what's happening to our debt and to any kind of sensibilities about running the government.
Yeah, just increasing the wealth. Yes. Is Congress going to regulate AI before it enslaves us? Yes, I believe there will be enough regulations and checks, and the state governments will do the right thing with AI, these data centers. Because we're not going to be paying $200 a month extra in electricity for them to go get rich off of these data centers.
Scott, were you a little boy when they used to show, and by this time there'd be flying cars in America? And, you know, all those kinds of things. That's what I think AI is. It's like that, but they're sucking up all the investor money into this daydream that, yes, parts of it work. And yes, it does have the ability to take great amounts of information and put it together and translate ancient languages we never have been able to translate before. Fine. But what AI does not have is a consciousness to do things right. And I can tell you from trying to create AI graphics for my channel, it doesn't know how to spell. It doesn't. My dyslexic ADHD son in the 4th grade spelled better than it does. So, and it doesn't have, human spark and creativity. Do you ever watch any of the? Have you ever watched the series Hacks? Okay.
Like so.
Well, it's about a woman comedian and her trials and tribulations of getting on national. Anyway, she gets screwed by a major channel, and they want her to put on a right wing guy that she believes is harmful. She won't do it, so they cut the plug on her show. But they don't only cut the plug on her show; they cut everything out. So the last 2 years of the series were about them she and her writer struggling to get back. And there's a really important section where they meet with a young guy, AI guy, who's got more money than God and has enough money to invest the millions they need to get done what they want done. But they figured out that he's using dead actors' voices in commercials and things. And some of this is based on real stuff. This happened. Gene Hackman's wife sued them for using his voice. But anyway, they talk about the evils of AI, and there's the young writer, when she talks about that there has to be a spark of creativity that comes in from somewhere. Now, I know in quantum theory, it could come in through a machine. I don't think on this planet that's how it's meant to come in. So, anyway, it was a whole thing about AI enslaving us. And the more I see more and more and more pushback in some of the shows I watch that I guess younger people, younger than me, watch, and they're saying, no, we don't want this marching in space. And so what'd you get? Is it going to regulate itself?
Oh, yeah. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
With the 5 of Wands and Tower together.
You get the 5 of Wands too? So did I.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we're going to feel like slaves for a bit. There's going to be some money issues that probably, once everything starts getting put on us a little bit with rising costs and whatnot, we're going to feel trapped. But I get in the end, it's going a new path, and it's going to be quick, and we're going to get it regulated and changed and do things properly at the right time. These cards are showing there's some pain. There's some pain here with the 8 of Swords and 5 of Coins coming up to that path. Yeah, something's going to happen, you know, it's going to show a Tower moment. You know,
right.
Whatever happens with an AI, it could be something just, devastating to show like, oh my, we gotta, they're trying with models to try to, see how it would think for itself. And it's, kind of like taking over programs or, infrastructure or whatever. And they're going to be like, okay, we can't go down this route. We have to regulate it. It can't do this. But you're right. It doesn't have conscience and doesn't think like human and reason. So, yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be regulated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sue says there's an NDA thing going on with the sailors. Like they're not supposed to talk about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but the family's speaking out.
Yeah.
So
this is a hard one to plug up, guys.
NDA fail.
Mm-hmm.
Shifting Bales that AI can't even get body parts right. I mean, all that'll eventually get better in that respect. But yeah. Oh yeah, I did read that. There was an aircraft carrier that was over there protecting Asia area, Japan and Korea. They're pulling that out to bring it over near Iran. Oh, China's dream.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, if you want to have China succeed, continue to support Republicans.
just going to cheer up Asian countries. I just sense it's going to make the world less safe.
Period.
Especially all the crap that China does on Taiwan and threats, and it makes Japan less safe. There was supposed movements on northern Japan area by Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Will the U.S. Navy by Iran get relief? To me, it feels like chaos no matter what.
Yeah.
In those straits, near the straits.
The more things you put in there, the more confusing it gets, and the more likely somebody's to shoot somebody they weren't supposed to shoot.
I mean, they already can't get resupplies for the current one. What makes you think they're not going to get resupplies for any other going there? This is a disaster.
Yeah, I got yes and no. It's like nothing's good about this, except that it's coming to light.
Yeah, any of the energy put into this whole effort has been a tower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, failure, hardships, bad energy. Do have the Page of Cups seeking help, but it's not coming. And then I get no leadership with the Eight of Swords.
That ought to be out of your deck currently, all the time. Just hanging there.
Outcome, losses. Five of Cups, losses. A lot of body issues. You can see that with Eight of Coins. You know, people losing weight, not nutrition, mental health, and Five of Swords. Abusive, struggling. So it's not going to get better unless we stop this war. Just because another ship comes on is not going to help.
Nope, not unless it's full of food and stuff they need, and it needs that for itself.
I mean, replacing, and it'll help those people to get them out of there. And they're going to need a 6-month break just from work going through that hell.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's going to help is stopping this war and giving Iran everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
Just dumb. What's the energy around closing the meatpacking industry? It's going to happen because mainly why I feel the meatpacking is closing up is because we don't have enough animals.
Mm-hmm.
The feedlots are low, so these packing industries are condensing to make it more affordable. You know, closing certain ones where the animal resources to get slaughtered and whatnot are enough. So it's not going to change. And like beef, it takes a long time to get more animals on the feedlot than it does hogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hogs are turned over within months. You know, it takes years to get beef.
Mm.
And then, you know, you got high feed costs, high fertilizer, high fuel. It's not affordable to raise beef. So it's going to be a struggle. And that's why meat packing is going down, because not enough animals. So they're condensing. Are the fires in Europe being created by bad actors? Ms. says Russian, but I don't think so.
I think it's a hot, incredibly hot, dry summer.
It's just hot and dry. Everyone, no. Some are accidents, some are man-made.
Some are just pissed off people that live there.
But generally, I get no. It's just the heat, the dryness. Any kind of spark can start the fire. So I don't think so as a whole. Correct. 18, 24 months at least.
Is part of it because of that insect that's going up the country?
No.
Just not investing.
Because a lot of farmers aren't raising thousands and thousands. They're scaling back. Labor. If you don't have enough labor, you can't handle that many animals. So you got to scale it back to the amount of labor you have.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not keeping as many beef cows.
Mm-hmm.
They're just using feed a lot. Meaning, ones that aren't raising them to full, but they just sell them as calves. So they're replacing there, but the price of calves is so high too. That's ridiculous. So the system is pricing themselves out of beef farmers.
Okay.
Because beef cows are extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
Calves are extremely high. No one wants to buy them because it's too high to raise them with our costs to lose money.
Okay.
So it's a bad system right now, especially with diesel and corn costs and soybean costs to feed them. So it's bad right now. If you have the hogs aren't going too bad. They're an easy business. Easier. They don't take as much money to feed as beef does. So yeah, feed is costly. Yes, Carrie. They found out that there was a arsonist that started the fire up there. And didn't say it wasn't happening. It was just like, it feels like as a whole, it's an accident.
And the other one was arsonists in Europe that were Russians. And I think it's a mixture. Well, it's an incredibly hot, dry summer up there. But when we took Susan to England in 94 to visit Bill's family, they were all talking about how upset they were about climate change. And they were telling me that grapes were growing in England that hadn't grown there since before Henry VIII was king. And that the weather had changed so much that grapes that normally grew in France were now being grown in England because it was getting too hot in France. And that was in 94. That was 30 years ago. And some people were doing stuff, but not many. So.
Okay. What's the future of drunken Hegseth? Someone's got to get the blame and the heat.
Mm-hmm.
That clown just keeps denying everything when he's spoken.
Mm-hmm.
Future of Hegseth in this war debacle. I don't know. I get the sense the orange felon likes him. He defends him. All you have to do is
may get replaced. I think Trump's going to have to either admit he did something wrong or place it on somebody else. So he's going to go after the person that's in charge, somebody who's closely aligned with the devil, which I think Hegseth kind of comes to mind there too. They're wearily defensive. They're tired of having to defend all this stuff. And they're trying to figure a way to do it that causes them the least amount of harm. But, they're getting rid of their airbrained press secretary, and who's going to replace that one?
My current energy is the death card, 5 of cups, and 6 of coins. So we have an ending of a situation, heavy losses, and then we have giving and receiving. You do this, I'll do that.
But the 5 of cups is everybody sitting around blaming everybody else, not really looking at the real situation.
So the 6 of coins said there's a compromise there, though. It doesn't.
Yeah, they'll let him go, and they won't say it's because of that.
Okay.
He'll go home to spend more time with his family.
Me moving forward, I have 4 of wands, temperance, and 2 of swords. So there's talking there, but waiting. So I get they're talking about how to move forward, how to make things better, but it's a waiting game. Outcome, I got a new path here with the page of coins, 6 of wands. We got a victory, queen of wands, 5 of wands. This shows lack of energy to move on anything. Kind of feeling like if we get rid of Hegseth, it's not going to change anything.
No. Who's there? Who's left in any of the military services to change things?
Who's going to replace him?
Right.
There is none. So there is talk of replacing him.
Will they put Marco Rubio in charge?
Marco's going to run the whole military force and DNI by then, huh? I don't think there's anyone that's going to stand up and want the job either. They're running out of options.
Then we'll get a magic Mike, like the clown we have running the Congress now.
So I have no definitive feeling here that it's going to happen. It's being talked about.
They don't have any way to fill it.
But that's what I think it is like. But my internal sense is that the felon likes him because he, makes him feel good. He showers him with praises. And that makes the felon feel good. That's all he cares about. He doesn't want any backlash. But this whole Iran thing it's got to get settled. But yeah, that's my internal sense is that they don't know who they would replace.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a good thing when you fire all the top people because they're female or they don't agree. And now what's left is 2 stars that don't have experience or they're yes men and nothing gets done.
Right.
So we're in a bad situation there.
I didn't know Rosie O'Donnell was going to be hosting Jimmy Kimmel starting tomorrow night. That ought to be interesting.
Okay. Dems turnout has soared in some states. Can it carry over to November?
Yes.
Generally, we've been seeing approximately plus 10 on the Democrat side, or getting the independents to vote for Democrats. It's generally been about plus 10 since November of 24. That area, 25. So, is this energy gonna stay? I'll grab my kitty cards.
Okay.
Is the energy of voting for Democrats gonna stay? I always worry because people have such short memories. So many people don't stick to their guns and like, I'm done with this. But you know, there's 30% will never turn away from the Republican Party, though, and that's an issue. Okay.
I got yes. Because they've finally been stressed out enough to understand what's going on. They're beginning to get a sense of justice of what's going on in the elections. This is involved in winning and losing, and they realize that their votes are needed there to win. It's really been a heavy burden for a lot of people to come to the choice that they really do need to vote. But we got the Fool card as the out card, which means it's go. They're going to go do it. So yes, I think that pattern's going to hold.
It's weird how my cards come out here. And what I was mentioning before I threw out the cards, but people are disillusioned. It's like being in a marriage, you know, to a party or whatever. Some people just have it tunnel vision that they have to vote Republican, right? So we got people here that are wanting change and thinking about it, but it's taking time with that temperance. They want more stability in life, but they're in that 7 of Cups, right? They want these things, but they don't know if they can turn away from that vision of a Republican. But we are in a different mode because a lot of people are seeing that party is the devil.
Right.
They want things better with the 6 of Swords. We want calming, and they're willing to stand up and fight for it with that 7 of Wands. My outcome is Queen of Swords. We want stability. We want fighters. We want the High Priestess. And then I got the Hangman too. And then Chariot. People are breaking free. They are moving forward, and they're going to come out in numbers with the High Priestess and Chariot there. So I think it's going to carry over. I feel it. I do have that worry, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're going to worry about it. Trust me, don't say, oh, well, Scott and Nancy said it's going to work out. So yeah. It's not a nice day, so I'm not going to go vote. No, and it's, you know, we've had a couple other comments about other readers in here. I won't comment on what they read, how they read things. They saw the stuff they saw. That's what they saw that day. I'm well aware enough to know that what I read today may be totally flipped tomorrow.
Yeah. It's the energy. I mean, for you talking about a whole state, or let's say 3 million votes, you know, you could feel an energy flow one way or another. But the week before, this other candidate may say something that appeals, and all of a sudden 500,000 votes flip another way. You know, it's just when you're dealing with that many energies, it's tough to get, unless it's overwhelmingly, you're feeling like a 20% swing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel that, you can pretty much guarantee it. So it's usually best, you know, near day of to get the proper energy.
Well, look, they've animated a corpse to run the Senate.
Yes. Turn on. Okay, did that. I haven't heard about this, but what is going on here? Will anyone step up to save the Amazon for gold mining?
Oh yeah, it's been going on for a long time.
Has it?
Yeah, they use all the most destructive ways to search for the gold. That's why, and then they just let crap out, and it's the minerals and some of the stuff that comes up with the gold is bad news for it. Gold mining's an ugly business, you know, unless the rocks are just falling out of their own volition. You have to blast things apart to get the gold. It's ugly. And nobody's going to step up in the Amazon. It's up to the people of South America to do something about it. Really, it is.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Unfortunately, the King of Pentacles is taking over.
Mm-hmm.
They're working on their money. 5 of Coins, they're willing to fleece the land. Knight of Wands are rolling in. But there is some hope in the future. So I get a tower happening to this mining with a Fool and a Chariot. So something, there might be a change. Death to the partnerships and a change in resources. So at some point, it feels like something's going to change there.
Good. I hope so.
You know, whether it's division of spoils or the government actually stands up to the oligarchy fleecing it.
Oh, no. That's how come so much of the Amazon got mowed down, was to make room to cattle farm. Speaking of not having enough cattle.
Yeah, Sandra. That vote and our energy and us waking up with dreams and made 0 sense of what happened. All we can feel is that she didn't lose.
Mm-hmm.
That sense was there from all 8 weeks after. I was having dreams. It's like, this ain't right. It's like, what's going on? We needed to deport Elon.
You should have deported him before then. That would have been more helpful.
Yes, crawl through glass to vote. And vote early.
Yeah, and congratulations to the states that have the good sense for mail-in voting. Yep.
Yes, he is.
Why should he? What makes you think he's not the most hated here? You even have, what's that? Newsmax? I never watch Newsmax, but occasionally I'll see someone reporting on a situation. And they were sitting there basically saying to Paxton, "You're crumbling. What's your problem?" You know, Paxton owns something like 10 different homes, and he was living in one home in one county in Texas and voting in a different county. All this went through. It's been a real mess around here. But anyway, his only reply to that was, well, Tallarico was registered to vote for 15 years out of his parents' home. Well, yeah, he was, because in Texas, they made it nigh unto impossible for you to not register from your parents' home if you were in college. And the reason for doing that was that meant you had to go back to the county where you were registered to vote. So it was a way of disqualifying students from voting. And it was his own damn plan. And he's saying like there was something nefarious because the kid didn't own a home and he was voting from his parents. Will the independent running in Montana win? Is that our
So
question?
there's a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent.
Yeah.
There's 3 in that race.
Mm-hmm.
And the Democrat was asked to drop out, and she wouldn't.
Yeah, I saw that little spiel. I was like, that's ego on a plate.
My cards say it's going to split the vote, and the independent will not win. I get a Tower, 7 of Swords, deceitful, and then a 3 of Swords, heartbreak.
I think it's going to be turn on the dime at the very last minute with some communication around it. And I get, yes, he can win because people want independence. They want to carry it forward. And he's connecting with the Montanans on their own base. She's just going to muddy the water if she goes after him. That's all. But it's going to be a last minute thing. Independents are tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard.
Except in states like Montana where they know how effed up the Republican that's running is.
I'm getting a lot of 8s for the independent. So that would mean it's within reach. I get the Lovers, Ace of Pentacles. He's got resources behind him. And then 8 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. Doing the hard work. So I didn't get a 10, but I get an 8, so it's within reach, but everything now is kind of chaotic. The current energy moving forward because of the 3-way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Tower and the battle, the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Coins, the Wheel of Fortune. It's making it harder right now for the independent. Got a good outcome. But with a 3-way splitting everything, now it's complicated. So let's hope he keeps moving. Do you remember, didn't Montana have a Democrat governor for a while?
Yeah. No, they had a senator.
Was it Bullock?
No.
I thought they had a governor too.
Maybe they did. But I mean,
John Tester was the
Tester, was
senator for a couple times, yeah. But I thought they had a Democrat governor too for a while. So Montana's not out of it's possible. Okay. Will MAGA even bother to vote in November?
That's that percentage that says if he doesn't tell me what to do, I can't think. Of course, he's got to be around to tell them what to do. So that's the other part of that.
Yeah, let's toss on. Let's see what the cards say here. Will some of the MAGA stay home and not vote? Will some of the MAGA stay home? Yeah, I kind of get the feeling like 2% won't vote. There are some that won't. I do feel that.
Well, some are confused because he told them they wouldn't go to war,
The messaging isn't hitting like it used to.
Oh, I got it. No. Their moments of glory are over. Mm-hmm.
Page of Wands, the prosperity that the felon promised is changing with the Tower. And they're not getting their Empress feeling like they used to. They feel the losses with the 5 of Cups and currently evaluating whether to vote or vote a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I do have that feeling that they're not going to vote.
Well, I got that they're tired of it. They're really defensive. They've supported the greed and insecurity. They're starting to see that. They don't want conflict anymore. That's the war. They're finding new outlets for their news, what they call news, their information system, and that they want something that they're going to feel proud of. And I think that may be where they shift. Is what I did before, I'm not proud of it.
Oh, Lordy.
It's not maternity leave. He's on eternity leave. Eternity. No, he's never returning to the Senate. Not even as a hologram.
Yeah, they'll probably just wait till November now. He's healing. Feels like the Republicans are desperate because they don't want a Democrat being appointed in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Is crazy nonsense. What the heck's going on here? The truth is not being revealed. With the moon and the 7 of cups, everything's delusions.
I got 2 weeks or 2 months till they reveal what's really going on. That's a 2. That's why it says 2 weeks, 2 months.
It's not really showing me timing. My ending cards are being lazy, the loss, abject failure of the tower, and then 6 of swords, moving on. So 6 of swords is 6 weeks, 5 weeks. They're waiting. But what they're doing is a failure. I think it'd be upset people more than anything. I know, right?
Okay.
People in McConnell's office need to repay their paychecks.
That's right. We need to seize their paychecks. We have a comment here from Paisley about why she doesn't vote early, because the way they've set up her voting situation is 25 miles to drive to where she could vote early, or it's 3 miles to vote on the day of the election. You do what you do, honey. If you're that spread out, they're not going to blow up your voting booth. I don't think. It's in the dense inner city areas that they tend to have bombs placed in them on the day of election.
But that is still crazy. That you have 25 miles to drop off your ballot or vote early.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you could see if it's very rural.
Well, I don't know where she lives, and I don't.
Like in Montana or Wyoming or whatever, where there's only 800,000 people, they might only set up the voting booths or poll places in large metro areas, Oh, is there any other? What else we got here? 124. Mm-hmm. I know in the Wisconsin primaries there was like 300,000 more Democrat voters that went than Republican.
Mm-hmm.
That showed up to vote.
Yeah, but they had a contested race. If you both had contested races, you can look at that. But if the Republicans had no reason to go vote, they've already decided who we're going to get, so that was what it was.
Right. I mean, there's other races if they really, really wanted, because there's still federal
Well, there's other state
House
offices.
seats, and there's assembly seats and state senate seats, but the governor, choice, yes, there was no competition there, so maybe something go out to vote for that. But it kind of shows you where the enthusiasm is, and if they really,
oh yeah,
truly care about their other elections down ballot. That didn't happen. So the clown wants his name engraved on there that he's repairing it. And there's another legal fight. What's going to happen there?
in the Kennedy Center. It's not good. They're going to fight it until he has no authority to do anything, because it's still run by the Congress, no matter what he wants to do. I know the court can come in and say, we'll take all that scaffolding down, and the board can say, we're going to put his name up there. But it's just like his ballroom. Whereas his ballroom is just where the East Wing used to be. It's just a big hole.
I get a loss there. They're going to try to put it on as quickly as possible, but
there's always marble you can find from Italy.
I get the loss.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Court orders, fighting with the board, and I get the tower, meaning it ends. So they're definitely going to try to put it on before a court order, kind of like they did before, but it'll be ordered off. Such clownish, petty stuff. Oh, there you go. No one with morals would step into Keg's press position. Probably true. Marco, the man of many hats and oversized shoes, will take over.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Minnesota had the highest primary turnout since '67.
Oh, another kudos to Minnesota. People in Minnesota are getting little bumper stickers that indicate that, they're pro-Mexico, or that their car's been to Mexico and stuff. And all kinds of Anglos are putting that on their cars because it confuses the police, because they were stopping more cars with those markers on it. So now they're just stopping everybody. Thumbs up to Minnesota. Good thought. Yay.
Oh, funny.
And it's helpful to the Mexican, or it's helpful to the South American community to see how many people are with them on their side.
Would you mind reading on Ukraine, please and thank you? Lots of changes and challenges. All right.
Okay.
Last one here before we give our energy for the week. What's going on with Ukraine? Which deck wants that? This one. Oh, good. Elon was referred for criminal election fraud in Michigan, too.
Yeah, he was in Wisconsin.
I've seen Wisconsin referred. I haven't heard if they're taking it, but Olive Tree says Michigan also.
Thank you, Artistic Liz.
Okay, energy of Ukraine in It's something about if they can secure enough resources of something, because it feels like Zelensky's trying to get some more money or resources or something from another country, and if they can get that, they feel like it can blow us to an end. Ukraine is fighting for the world. They're the Knight of Cups. And temperance is here, though, because there's money restrictions, resources restrictions. They have the heart and soul with the Ace of Cups. And again, the money confusions. But there's improvements of what they have with the Four of Pentacles. So 9 of Cups, improvements are on the way. 8 of Cups is more money problems in resources. Frustrated, I think probably because of the United States turning their back. And then the 5 of Pentacles. So everything is delayed on what they can get. They're doing the best they can, but they need just a little bit more and they can finish this thing. So Zelensky's coming in as the emperor, the stable influence, has more power than Russia. 6 of Cups, the devil and justice. Ukraine will win. And it's a little bit delayed, but I don't feel it's long. They're going to continue doing what they can do with their drones and whatever. But it feels like they're trying to coordinate with some countries in Europe. You know, it could be Poland, Germany, to get what they need to finish this. They're like really close. But it's going to happen. So what do you see?
Okay, what I see is it's been looking bad for them in some regards for both sides. And people are just so weary of this war on both sides of the border. And you're right, he's having to scramble to get the money to put it together. But my out cards for Ukraine are the 10 of Pentacles right side up and Judgment coming out in their favor. So, yeah, I see them struggling, but they're going to get there.
Excellent. I forgot, I looked in the bottom of my deck before I put them all away. It was a death card to Russia.
Yeah, I got Putin. I got the 10 of Wands casting down a heavy burden. Or the person who purports to be Putin. That's a difficult sentence. The person who purports to be Putin. I'm proud I got that one all the way out. Well, I'm going to pull color cards for us today. And it came out as 2 cards. So I'm going to start. I got purple. Isn't that pretty? Purple helps people with eyesight, hearing, and bringing to some sense and clarity to all the senses. It gets rid of negativity and inflammation, it aids with, if you're thinking about trying to heal pain, this is a good color to work with. Creating connections between your body, your mind, and your soul. Purple also brings positivity and success. Use purple to clear away anxiety and let go of negativity. And the other card that I pulled together with it was plum. That looks a lot like purple, but it's not. Plum is the color of devotion, dedication, commitment. It connects you with your heart and your life purpose, creating deep bonds of friendship and relationship. It also assists you to stay strong through hardships and difficult situations. Plum is the color of deep inner strength and faith. Use plum to help overcome challenges and discover your own purpose. So what we're supposed to be doing is getting stronger by reconnecting the strong sense of our unity within ourselves. And if you own some plum t-shirts or purple things, wear them this week to remind you to reconnect. That's why purple is the color for the Alzheimer's Society.
And your hair.
In my hair, which was
and the magician.
And the magician's, see, his hair's doing it outside. Woo-hoo.
So I got the magician is about, manifesting, successful beginnings, starting things.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get 2 Gabriels, which are wands. So we got 6 of wands and the Ace of wands.
Mm-hmm.
So we got manifesting creates miracles, it creates passions, and creates successes.
Good.
So that's what that's all about, is that we have it within us.
Mm-hmm.
Have the incredible story within ourselves.
Yeah. We just have to open up to it. So what you got going this week, Scott?
Same. Not making any plans. Just work.
Work. Okay, I've got my show on Tuesday. I've got readings throughout the week. I'm going to send out another notice to all my people who are now members of my station, are going to get some information about the book club. Jeffrey and I are starting another trail class on the 5th of September. And if you're a member of my station, I will be able to send you a code if you're interested in being part of the class. You have to let me know through, and I can't put it up, but my crystaldirections.nancyjean@gmail, or go to my channel and you'll see where it is. Or you can go, I had to fight. Yes, you've gone blurry, Scott. My website decided to die for part of this week, and I spent 2 hours, I'll never get back, reconnecting everything. So now everything connects together. So if you go there, you can read the write-up on my thing. It'll have a thing in the description as soon as we get off air telling you where to go to get the discount code if you want to take my class, and that's all up and running. And buy me a cup of coffee. If you do that, I get more good response from that. I have people who buy me a coffee, and if you do that, I do send you back a 30-second oracle card reading, and thank you personally for supporting my channel. That would be wonderful. And other than that, we had thank you to all the people who supported the channel today in bringing the show, because it all covers the bills. We don't have huge bills, but we do have bills. And since we're not a charity, we can't pass the little thing at the end of the service saying, put your money here. We ask for if you can support us. If you can't and you just want to send us good vibrations, yes, send us good vibrations. We like that.
Everything's great.
Yeah. Tuesday 1 o'clock. And then I'm not sure about the rest of the week, except I have readings.
Yep. Thank you, Patricia. Love and light to everyone. Be positive, and that creates our better impulses that will prevail, and compromise will be victorious. Thank you. Very good comment. Blessings, everyone. And
Blessing everybody. You have